Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well. So, our today's lesson is going to be about the present simple tense, affirmative, negative, and interrogative. So, let's get started. So, first, read the paragraph and underline all the verbs. Okay, so you are going to read this paragraph and take a paper or your copybook exercise part and write down all the verbs written in this paragraph. Okay, but first I will read it for you, then you can read it again to do what I just said. Listen. Omar lives in a small village in Morocco. His parents get up at 5 o'clock, but he doesn't get up at 5. Omar gets up at 6 o'clock. Every day he walks to school at half past 7 a.m. Lessons start at 9 o'clock. He studies 8 subjects a week. He likes English, maths, and science, but he doesn't like French. His friends Yusuf and Samir like English, Arabic, and French, but they don't like maths and science. When Omar gets back home at quarter past 6 p.m., he has dinner. Next, he does his homework and watches TV. Then he goes to bed at 9 o'clock. So you can pause the video to underline the verbs or write them down, and then we can continue. Okay, so let's move. After reading the paragraph, you can find these verbs: lives, gets up, doesn't get up, gets up, walk, start, studies, likes, doesn't like, don't like, gets back, does, has, watches, and goes. Okay, so these are the verbs written in the paragraph. So, what do we do? What do we do here? So, these verbs are conjugated in simple present. So, let's see what do we do in affirmative. If you can see in the examples or in the text, we find Omar lives, and the main verb is live. Okay, his parents get up, the main verb is get up. Okay, Omar gets up, so the main verb here is get up. Okay, he walks, the main verb is walk. Listens, start, so the main verb is start. He studies, okay, the main verb is study. He likes, so the main verb is like. His friends Yusuf and Samir like, so the main verb is like. He has, so the main verb is have. He does, the main verb is do. Okay. He watches, the main verb is watch. He goes, the main verb is go. So what do we do here? Can you have a look? Okay. So if you can see, here we have Omar. So only one. It's like if we have he. So here we have his parents. So what do you see here? So here this in plural, it's like if we have they. And here it's like if we have he. So here we add s, and here we add nothing. So the verb stays as it is. The same here. Once we have Omar, so we have s. Here we have walks. And once we have listens, okay, this is of the plural. So start, the verb stays as it is. Here we add as. So now we can figure out that in he we add something. Sometimes we add is, sometimes we remove the y and replace it with ias, and sometimes we add es to the verb, and sometimes the verb changes completely. Okay, So but when in the plural, when we have they, like his parents, listens, his friends, okay, so here the verb stay as it is. So how can we know when do we change the verb? When do we add something and when do we add as, when do we add s, and when do we add nothing, or when the verb doesn't change? Okay, let's see. So when we have I, you, we, they, when we have these subject pronouns, the verbs stay as they are, so they don't change. The verbs do not change. Like for example, I like, you watch, we stay, they go. So here we add nothing to the verb, okay? But in the third person singular, like when we have he, she, it, so there are some changes. Sometimes we add s, okay? So when do we add s? Like if we have the verb walk, we say I walk, he walks. We play, she plays. Okay? And sometimes we add as. So we add as to the verbs that end in ch, o, sh, ss, and x. When a verb ends in these, we add as to it. Okay? Like in the example, you watch, she watches. So the main verb here ends in ch, okay, and ch is here, so we add es. Once the verb ends with or ends in some of these, like ch, o, sh, ss, x, so we add es to the verb in the third person singular, he, she, it. But when we have you, I, we, they, the verb stay as it is. Okay? Here we add IAS, but we don't just add it. We replace it, by the way. We remove the Y and we replace it with IAS. But when do we do that? Okay, we do that when we have consonant plus Y. Okay, when we have consonant plus Y, like fly becomes flies. We remove the Y and we replace it with IES. Only when we have consonant plus Y. But if we have a vowel plus Y, like here, we only add S. Okay? And you know the vowels A, E, I, O, U. When we have vowel plus consonant plus Y, we only add S. Okay? But when we have consonant, which are B, C, D, F, G, etc., plus Y, we remove the Y and we replace it with I, ES, like fly, flies. And here we have exception, like note. I have becomes he has. So have becomes has. So it changes completely. Okay? Remember this. Have in the third person singular becomes has. Okay? So much for affirmative. Now let's move to the negative form. Do you remember when we have the verb to be? She is a nurse. What do we do in negative? Yes, say she is not a nurse. We add not. Okay, and we say she is not a nurse. Now what about this sentence? They go to school every day. What do we do here? Yes, can you give me the negative form of this sentence? If your answer is they go not to school every day, so it's false. We don't say go not. Okay, we don't say this. But if your answer is they don't go to school every day, so then it's correct. We say they don't go to school every day. So now you will ask, why this don't? Where does this don't came? Okay, where does it came from? I will tell you. I will tell you a secret. Okay, in fact, it is they do go to school every day, but it's heavy to say they do go to school every day. Like in Arabic, we cannot say هم يقومون بالذهاب إلى المدرسة كل يوم. So it's heavy to say يقومون بالذهاب. So we can simply say يذهبون. The same here. We can simply say they go to school every day. So, but this do appears only in negative, interrogative, and the answers. We'll come to this. So we don't say they do go to school every day. We can simply say they go to school every day. But do appears in negative, like here we say I, you, we, they don't go to school. So we have the verb do and nt of the negative form, like with the verb to be is not. So here we have do not. Okay, but in the third person singular we conjugate do and becomes doesn't. Okay, and we say he, she, it doesn't. The verb do, okay, we conjugate the verb do, it becomes does. Okay, we add as we explained before, and we add nt of the negative form, and we say doesn't. Okay, so in affirmative we say they go to school every day, they go to school every day. And in negative we say they don't go to school every day, they don't go to school every day. Okay, so this do doesn't appear in affirmative, but it appears in negative form and interrogative form. And once it appears, we don't conjugate the verb anymore. We conjugate this do. If it is negative, we add ant, and we will see the interrogative. What do we do in the interrogative form? So what I want you to remember is that once we have I, you, we, they, we say don't in negative. Okay? But once we have he, she, it, we say doesn't. Okay, remember this. Okay, so much for this. Now let's move to some examples from the text. In the text we have he doesn't get up, he doesn't like, they don't like. He doesn't get up. Here we have doesn't because we have he. Okay, and here doesn't, like if we have he, and here they. Okay, they we have don't. Okay, so much for this. Now let's move to the interrogative form. Okay, do you remember in the verb to be? What do we do? She is a nurse. If we want to turn this into interrogative. Okay, can you give me the interrogative form of this sentence? She is a nurse. Okay, you will say, is she a nurse? So here we have subject verb inversion. Okay, so say, is she a nurse? So now what about this sentence? They go to school every day. Can you give me the interrogative form of this sentence? If you say go they to school every day, so it's false. Okay, we don't say this, so it is false. But the correct answer is do they go to school every day? And I just explained that this do appears in negative as we explained and in interrogative. Okay, so once we want to change, or the change one once we want to change something in the sentence, so the change occurs on this do. So we say do they go to school every day? We don't say go they. Okay, so in in the negative form we say they don't go. In the interrogative form we say do they go. Okay, so much for this. So now let's have questions and answers. Once we have a question of such like do they watch TV every night, do they watch TV every night, so it requires two answers. It may be, if it is positive answer we say yes they do, if it is negative we say no they don't. Do they watch TV every day or every night? If yes we say yes they do. If it is negative, if they not, so we say no they don't. When we have the third person singular we say does she watch TV every night, or does he, or does it, or okay. Once we have the third person singular the verb do becomes does. So as I said we conjugate this do, so we say does she watch TV every night, then we have yes she does or no she doesn't. Okay, so here we come to the conclusion. In this table you can find almost all what we have done or what we have said. Okay, have a look on this table and then let's move to practice. So let's practice. So put the verbs between brackets in the correct form. We have some sentences here. Okay, like the first one, Ahmed drive to work every day. Samir and Jawed do their homework every evening. Jamila not work in a bank. She work in a hospital. The bird fly high in the sky. They not play football. They prefer handball. Okay, and here we have a conversation. Samir is saying, here we have a question. Okay, pay attention. She like maths. Okay, here we have interrogative form. Jawad will replace yes. We have do. So what do we do here? Okay, so you can pause the video to do this exercise in a paper or in a copybook exercise part. Then you can move to the correction. Okay, so now let's move to the correction. So here we have Ahmed drives to work every day. We have drives, okay, because we have Ahmed. It's like if we have he, so we say drives. Ahmed drives to work every day. We add is to the verb. Okay, so here Samir and Jawed do. The verb stay as it is or doesn't change because we have plural. It's like if we have they. Samir and Jawed do their homework every evening. Jamila doesn't work. Okay, so here we have Jamila. It's like if we have she, so we say doesn't work, the negative form. Okay, Jamila doesn't work in a bank. She works in a hospital. So here we have works because we have she. Okay, she works in a hospital. The bird flies high in the sky. So the verb fly becomes flies because we have consonant plus y. And as I said before, once we have consonant plus y, we replace the y with ies. Okay, ies in the third person singular. And here the bird is like if we have it. Okay, let's move. Here we have negative form. They, okay, they don't play football. So the negative form don't play. Okay, because we have they. They prefer, so nothing changed. So the verb doesn't change because we have plural. We have they. Okay, so they prefer handball. So the conversation, as I said, does she like? Because we have Interrogative form. I have a question mark right here. So this sentence is in the interrogative form. We say, does she like maths? Does she like maths? And the answer, as I said, if you have questions of such requires two answers, maybe positive answer or negative. So this here we have positive answer. So we say yes, yes, she does. Yes, she does. And now we come to the end of this video. I hope you understood the lesson. So I wish you all the best.